Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Tom Oblin.
And we just got done with a very bipolar weekend at Talladega. We're going to be getting into more of that, but let's start off with our diecast of the week. Tom, what you got for us, buddy?
All right, I won another Goodwill shop auction, so I had to bring out a diecast to match this beautiful DuPont Winston Cup Series jacket. So I'll just bring out the old classic, the Behemoth, the 24 Rainbow Warrior. But
Beautiful.
my biggest diecast, it's not the 124, it's like a 118 or something.
Oh, hell yeah.
Big boy.
Gotta
So
love it.
anyway, that's it. Simple. I've done it before, but more about the jacket.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
absolutely. All right, so NASCAR is heading to Texas this weekend, so I thought I'd bust out my favorite Texas diecast. Hey, there you go. Kevin Harvick's 2019 win. This was a great win. This was in the playoffs, and pretty cool thing about this car is I actually have a piece of it.
Hey,
Found,
awesome. That's super fun.
got it off eBay for like $80, and this was like this is from a race win car. This is
That's a race win?
that is a
They
race
wiped
win.
all the confetti off of it then.
Yeah, right. Well, actually, it didn't reach down there. I think that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like
Gotcha. Oh, that's the
about
front.
right.
I
Yep.
see. I see.
So
That's awesome. That's really cool to have a race win piece
yeah, that's my
in there.
favorite piece of sheet
My
metal right there.
my only piece of sheet metal went through the infield at Talladega on the final lap and finished backwards like in 20th or something. So I don't know, but
Yeah, don't worry. I got a few of those too.
that or my Austin Dillon carbon fiber that he ran straight into the barrier when he was leading at Chicago, where I picked this up off the track after the race, but that doesn't really count.
Hey, no, it's still coming from a race car, so why not? All right, so let's get into our top stories, and I'm sure all of you saw it, but Joey Logano and Ryan Preece have been disqualified after Sunday's race. Both of their spoilers did not meet NASCAR's standards, had a few bolts loose. Um, but yeah, that really sucks. Ryan Preece, he got a second place finish and just goes right down the drain. Joey Logano with a fourth place finish, which would have won me points from this past weekend, and then he drops all the way down to last place. So Nick wins the points with Denny Hamlin finishing in what, like 21st?
Yeah, that was an unfortunate rate, and we had good picks. It wasn't like we were making bad picks. It's just you know my pick Blaney got wrecked out in that pit road crash, and just really minding his own business, and then and your pick gets a DQ at the end and finishes dead last. Like, what are you supposed to do about that?
Yep. That's what I
We
get for
can't
picking
predict how
Joey
the
Logano.
how the team. Yeah, that's what you get for picking Joey Logano. Um, no, and just on that note, Ryan Preece, RFK Racing was going to have a bad day, but end solidly with a second place finish, and then suddenly they end up 38, 36, and 34th with two destroyed race cars. Um, really, really just bad look for them for the day, and Brad K drops another spot into the point. He's got to put down the shovel. He can't dig much deeper.
Yeah.
So rough day to be an RFK Ford.
Yeah, absolutely. And more news coming from Talladega. Connor Zilisch has a lower back injury from that wreck that he sustained in the last lap of the Xfinity race on Saturday. So he will not be racing this weekend at Texas. Kyle Larson will be driving that 88 for him this weekend. So hopefully he'll get better soon. One of my favorite drivers in the Xfinity garage. You just hate to see it. I mean, big wreck at Talladega, big collision. Can't help yourself there.
No, you can't, and you wonder how much this is actually going to set him back. I mean, Bowman hasn't really ever recovered from his back injury in a consistent fashion. Chase Elliott took a while to bounce back from the leg injury. Eric Jones broke his back last year at Talladega. It's a dangerous spot, and NASCAR is probably going to, obviously NASCAR is going to look into this. They don't want this happening and whatnot, but for a young driver like Zilisch, he's just in there really just trying to learn, trying to get his feet wet in this. And I mean, he's going to be a future something in NASCAR. This kid's got just dripping in talent. And you just hate to see something like this that you know is going to set him back and whatnot. Because even if they heal, they're not comfortable in the car. They got to relearn to do stuff. And any time out of the car is not good.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll get better soon. Hopefully we'll see him at the racetrack as soon as possible. But Matt Benedetto and Austin Green, they were docked 20 driver and owner points and 5 playoff points after the Xfinity, or actually it was before the Xfinity Series race. They had a bumper cover violation that was found in Xfinity pre-qualifying tech. What really sucks is Austin Green didn't even qualify into the race.
Oh,
So, yeah,
oh,
that sucks. He got points docked for a race that he didn't even enter in.
yeah, that's no good. That's awful.
Yeah,
You lose points and you lose money going to the track. You lose this, that, and the other. Like,
not good.
Matt Benedetto looked stout during the race, though. He was up there, really, maybe using that cheating to his advantage.
Yeah, maybe that's why he was so goddamn fast.
Hmm.
All right, and then last bit of news: PGA Golf has shown interest in hiring Steve Phelps as their new CEO. I think that's great. I think standout guy. I think he would do so much wonders for the PGA. They couldn't have a better guy.
I take it you don't want Steve Phelps sticking around anymore.
No, man, he's great. What are you talking about? I'm going to miss him so much.
Oh my goodness! Wasn't he just promoted to some farcical title as a commissioner or something, or who was that? I don't know.
I don't know. They always toss up these roles every few years with these handful of guys.
I'm sure in this day and age of hustle culture, Steve Phelps will figure out a way to do both, and
Yeah.
somehow start to neglect NASCAR and make it worse again.
Yeah, that could definitely happen.
I
All right, so let's get into Talladega from this past weekend. The Xfinity race, I thought it was exciting. We were able to see a lot of good runs. They weren't packed up like we saw on Sunday. A lot of moves for the lead and just passing. People were able to pass on Saturday.
for sure, and this is something we've come to expect and whatnot. You almost look forward to the Xfinity race at this type of racetrack than over the Cup race, because with the Cup race, you know what you're going to get, and it's good to see that the drivers still have a little bit of control and whatnot. I mean, Jesse Love was up there controlling the front of the race for a bit, and it just was good to see, you know.
Yeah, RCR had a dominant day. They looked great up ahead. I mean, that's their super speedway program. I mean, Jesse Love and Austin Hill, those guys are aces.
For sure. And you think they have a good relationship. I mean, Jesse's probably learning from Austin Hill, learning from the notes, and is able to get his done and rival his teammate and even outshine him a little bit at certain points during the race. And when you have someone like a veteran like Austin Hill, it's high praises for Jesse Love, who's much younger, much newer at all this.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing you could have is a teammate who is also super dominant at super speedway racing, because then you know how to help each other out. You know how to make this company finish 1 and 2 every time you come to one of these tracks.
And if you have a good relationship, even if you're not in the teammate, but especially if it's teammate, because the manufacturers are encouraging you to work together. If you just have a good relationship with somebody, they're going to be more willing to go with you, to work with you, and that is going to push you forward in the race. So build those off-track relationships, and you'll have more success on the racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and it was a fantastic race, but it ended in awful fashion. They were on the last lap, and we get, like we said earlier, Connor Zilisch wrecked into the wall. It was just a single car accident, but they called a caution right away. I think it would have been easy for them to race it out, Zilisch was out of harm's way. Nobody was coming. Let them finish. It's a big track. They're able to slow down, but NASCAR decided to throw the caution on the backstretch, and then this caused some controversy. Austin Hill was declared the winner, but Jeb Burton looked at the photo finish and thought that his car was ahead. Tom, what do you think about that, bud?
Um, a few things. Let's talk about the caution first. Um, this is our big gripe with the super speedways and how they race and how it comes down to the finish. I think we can do better, and because obviously the evidence is there. Zilisch is hurt. Zilisch is out for a week, maybe more. Caution is justified. If this happens on lap 16, obviously they'll throw the caution, go get him. So I'm not saying they need to run it out because it's the last lap. I think we have the technology to do local yellows, so to speak. Um, and yes, it might be changing the rules for the last lap, but this was a one car incident going into turn 3, basically. So there's going to be about a mile and a quarter or something for those cars to get woed up from the finish line. The pack can race it out. Meanwhile, you can have a yellow flag right at the line. You can call it like race back to the yellow if it's deemed there. And the lights before the start finish line can stay green, right? So you have this local yellow where anywhere after the finish line, you're under caution. And then NASCAR at their discretion can hit the local yellow button, but not the full yellow. Or they can just hit the full yellow if it truly is a bad crash or it's close to the start finish line or whatnot. So that could then move us into the photo finish. I mean, NASCAR on their website has the margin of victory as 0.001 second. I mean, that's just making up an arbitrary number. That's frustrating. I feel for Jeb Burton. It was so great to see his emotion, how much it meant to him. I like that's part of the drama is why I watch sports, but I don't think he has a leg to stand on. I mean, that photo was at an angle. It was weird. It was a weird thing. Like, yeah, you're gonna feel you were out in front. Obviously, you're gonna see it the way you want to see it when you finish second, and it was that close. And again, the local yellow thing would then fix this because we wouldn't have some arbitrary photograph for a one car incident. I mean, you could even get the safety cars out there to him while they're still racing around the track. NASCAR brought that up themselves after Daytona. They're like, yeah, we can still roll the safety cars on the backstretch. It's all paved anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a tough situation all around. I'm kind of numb to the cautions. I just kind of expected it.
Yeah.
So
I just feel like they're shooting themselves in the foot with not doing something about it, with not doing something like a local yellow for a track like Daytona or Talladega, where, yeah, we're going to see a wreck on the last lap. It's going to happen, and it's going to ruin these finishes, and we've seen it time and time and time again. So they got to do something, and Tom, I think you said it perfectly. Local yellows, that's the way to go with these kind of tracks. At least for the
and
last lap. That's what I think.
yeah, and then also you can bring it out some out like that for road courses maybe too. I don't know. Um, it's I understand it's going to be way easier said than done, but one of these days, this is going to. I mean, we're coming to Talladega in the round of 8. What if you got two guys who it is as close as that, but it's Christopher Bell and William Byron, and the winner. NASCAR basically arbitrarily picks a winner based off a photograph, and then I don't know. One makes a playoff, one doesn't. Like it's a possibility, and I'm not saying that by October they're going to have this figured out, but I think the technology is more than there to individually pick the caution lights. They have the timing loops already. They're like, all right, everything from this timing loop back to the start finish is under caution. The rest of the track can stay green for 30, 20, 15 more seconds.
Yeah.
again, and this is only going to be for a Daytona Talladega. You can't do this at Bristol. You can't do it at Martinsville. You can't do it at places where they're going to spread out, loop the field. But when everybody's there, it's fine. And if you're in that caution spot, say like the end of the cup race, you got lappers coming up behind it, you got to slow down. Your field is frozen like anywhere else. That's where you stop. Sorry, your race ended. You're behind the caution. We can't have you driving into a wreck with potentially hurt drivers. Um, but I think there's a very common sense area that I don't think would cause the drivers to just arbitrarily plow through wrecks under green flag conditions.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough to make it happen, but I really do think
Mm-hmm.
NASCAR can make it happen.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're going to put so much emphasis on winning, you better have a good way to tell who can win this race. And I'm not convinced that NASCAR actually knows who won, who was ahead between the 21 and the 27 at the moment of caution.
Yeah.
Also, if they wait half a second later, the 27 is ahead. It's such an arbitrary thing.
It,
It's really tough.
yeah, it's a
Really
big
tough.
toss
And I
up.
feel for Jem Burton. That's his chance to make the playoff and get his team an extra 500 grand, $1 million.
Yeah. And it got
That's
stripped
that.
away.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's move over to the Cup Series race, and
And we're done.
yep, and we're done. Tom, I gotta say, this was probably the most boring Talladega race that I have ever watched. I think this was worse than watching the one lane choo choo train that we used to have almost 10 years ago.
That's not what NASCAR will tell you. It's
Yeah,
not.
they're telling us that the Cup finish was way better than the Xfinity Series finish.
And they're saying that, like, what's not to love? We had 23 leaders. We had 60 something lead changes. What are you talking about?
Yeah, four wide fuel saving. That's a lot of fun to watch.
The thing is, it's like, I want to see drivers go out and conquer a racetrack. If people tout that Talladega race where Stewart Haas Racing put their four guys up front and never relinquished. Yeah, it was hard to pass then and whatnot, but also show up with better stuff. Stewart Haas had that day figured out. Fine by me. Like you said, the choo choo train top lane thing that Dale Jr. made up, it it's the same thing as fuel saving. And yeah, I guess there's a little bit more danger. It looks nicer on TV, but that's when everybody's going half throttle, and that's not a driver conquering the racetrack. And so it looks good, but then as soon as the end of the race happens, 10 laps to go, your top 10 doesn't change till you come to the end. They barely change positions.
Well, and when you're
It
even coming to the end there, if you try moving out, you're a fish out of
Putting out the
water.
parachutes.
Yeah, putting out the parachute because these cars have no horsepower. By themselves, when they were
Mm-hmm.
qualifying, they were going like 180. When they're in the pack, they're going about 195, hitting almost 200 miles an hour. That should not be happening. We need to have more horsepower in these cars so they can actually get out of line and do something and make a move. Because it's just scaring people to just try and fight for a win. They're just I'm fine with fifth place. I'm fine with sixth because you can't do anything about it. Because if you try getting out of line, then hell, dude, you're gonna finish 30th.
There was a Talladega race a couple years ago where Kyle's running like 10th or something, Kyle Busch, and in the Gen 6 car, he was coming on the final lap. He pulled out a line. It would have been the perfect time, or it may not have been the final lap, final few laps. Started a third row, would have driven up to the front, competed for the lead. He pulls out a line. He had four cars back behind him. Ty Gibbs pulls out a line to try to stop that run. Everybody fell. Everybody just parachuted the back as soon as that momentum was killed. And it's just the drivers aren't in control. It's where they come out on pit road. It's I love a good strategy race. I love a good pit crew race. Once in a blue moon. Not Talladega Daytona. Don't want to see that. I want to see a guy come out there and drive around and go wheel it. I mean, you have people in even the Gen 6 era, you had people fall to the back, avoid wrecks, knowing that they're going to do it. But if there was no wreck happening, you could build a run. And if your car was good, get back to the front. If the driver knew where to put the car and the car would respond well, they could go back to the front. And we're not seeing that today.
Yeah. And
And does NASCAR want to show where some mediocre guys get in some go-karts and drive around with their foot half mashed? Or do they want to see some racing?
yeah, you want to see some guys actually duking it out and fighting for a victory, not just sitting around in rush hour traffic for 3.5 hours and then whoever is out in front is the victor. It's
Yeah.
just not fun to watch anymore. I like super
And
speedway racing used to be the best.
for sure, for sure. And I agree that the four wide 180-mile-an-hour parade laps look better. And I also agree that they're accomplishing the same goal as the single line choo choo train. You just got to find a happy medium because at the end of the single line choo choo train, you get guys able to pull out of that line and make moves and work together and try to fight and battle for position. In this, as soon as they get strung out, they can't even go four wide, can't go three wide. And who's making up any spots there? It's difficult. It's difficult to watch. And to hear NASCAR come out and say it's like, well, trust us, it's good. We like it. It's good. Look at all these numbers. But if this is a lead change, you got two guys here one lap and then two guys here the next lap. It's a lead change, great. And they sit like that, just trading the lead. Oh, we changed the lead 60 times. Yeah, but you were just doing this. And if
Yeah.
they had full tanks of gas for the whole race, they just do this the whole time, just seesawing back and forth. It just nothing would go anywhere.
Yeah. It's not as impressive as NASCAR is making it out to be.
No, and it's feels propaganda-ish. It's like, oh, you like this. Look at how good it is. And it's like I can see it.
Yeah.
I
I
can see what's happening.
I can see through the bullshit.
So
Yeah.
tough.
Tough day for Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski getting tied up on pit road. Those Fords, they were hauling into pit road. I don't know what they were thinking. Brad Keselowski had way too much speed going in there. Um,
I think that the three cars that pulled off slowed down way too early. It caught the veterans off guard because that was an odd wreck.
yeah.
And Kyle never made it off the track. Kyle was trying to pit. I was watching his radio the whole time, and I suffered through the rest of that race with that radio. Uh, but Kyle was trying to pit. He never made it below. He said it himself. He's like, "We never made it below the yellow line. What the hell happened?" Uh, Something weird happened. Kyle and Brad obviously wanted to go drive in a little harder than the other guys did. It was the first pit stop. No practice. Like this is, if anything, this is a thing. Let them do a shakedown of the car and let them practice coming to pit road a couple times before the race. They get one lap of qualifying and then go to the race. Like, come on,
Yeah.
come on. This could have been avoided. I mean, it was difficult. And again, Ryan Blaney, fast car, gets another garbage finish because he just got caught up in a fluke. They didn't even have to spin back up on the track. It just happened that way.
Yep.
It's a tough thing, but racing incident. Um, Two things that these two drivers did not need, Brad and Kyle, uh, to have races like this.
And Ryan Blaney. I mean, this guy has
No,
had horrible luck this year.
I mean, frankly, it's amazing he's still in the top 10 in points.
Yeah. I don't even
But
know how that's possible at this point.
Ryan Blaney would be looking like Kyle Larson last year if he didn't have 4 DNFs or something.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
for
4.
sure.
Woof.
Kyle Larson won stage one. Bubba Wallace won stage two. So good points day for both
Hmm.
those drivers. Bubba Wallace, I mean, he's sitting pretty in the points right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing a huge difference between Bubba Wallace last year and this year, and it is stage points. His name is all over those stage finishes, and it's It's good. This is the difference that this team needs to make. And it's why he's sitting 7th points. He's a bubble driver because he can figure out how to finish the race, but he can't race up front. And this format, this points format, is rewarding you for driving up front. And he is figuring out how to put that car up front and gain incremental points week in and week out. And that's a good change. 7th points is a whole lot more comfortable for him, a driver like him. And if Bubba's relaxed, he's only going to get better.
Yeah, for real. So great start to the year for Bubba Wallace. And like we said, there was no drama in this finish. No one pulled out of line, couldn't make a move. And Austin Cindric wins. I mean, he was ahead of everybody else. He made it work.
Yeah.
No one fought for the lead with him.
What's worse for Ryan Preece? To finish second and get DQ'd, or to win and get DQ'd?
I think winning and then getting DQ'd would be way worse.
I think it'd be devastating.
Yeah.
And I think NASCAR fans are more happy to see the winner stay the winner. I also think it's funny that when Joey Logano got disqualified, it was like almost immediate that Penske came out and they're like, yep, we accept.
Yeah.
Good. All good. Don't look at the other cars.
They didn't even try to appeal it.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, no, we get it. Don't look at the bolts on the other cars too closely. So yeah, that's interesting. But Austin Cindric, if we talk about the winner for a second, Austin Cindric is up at the front of all these races. It's about damn time that he finishes well. And he's funny. Seeing him on social media and going around doing interviews and whatnot, like, he's a likable guy. Why is Penske suddenly filled with likable guys? I don't like this. I'm supposed to hate Penske.
I don't know.
Because I always have hated Penske.
They still got Joey Logano in their camp, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, but Cindric is funny, and Ryan Blaney's just damn good, and you got to respect him.
Oh yeah,
and he's nice.
Austin Cindric, when he celebrated and hugged Regan Smith, that was awesome. And then he had the wreath around him.
Yeah, he wouldn't let that wreath go.
Like he's a cool dude, I will say that.
He came on the download and was just talking. He's like, yeah, it was funny what Joey said.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like, we didn't really talk about it. And then, I don't know the next time I'm going to win. I'm just having fun.
Chipper Jones chiming in on Twitter.
Yeah, oh my goodness,
that was so funny. I had no idea that Chipper watched NASCAR.
He's probably a Chase Elliott fan, being in Atlanta all these years. But Austin also said he took an extra victory lap to just like look around the infield, which I thought was really cool. You know that this means something. We talk about how Austin Cindric, he's just Tim Cindric's son. His dad is a team boss, so he gets the ride and whatnot. I mean, do I recall correctly that Tim Cindric is not as big a part of the team anymore?
He's over on the IndyCar side of things.
Yeah.
Now.
So this, more broadly, I think is a huge win for Austin Cindric. It shows he brings more value to this team than just. I mean, he got that fluke win at Gateway last year because Ryan Blaney ran out of gas.
But still, he was running second that day.
Yeah, exactly. He was up there, legitimately up there and running well. But there's probably a list of 10 guys that I could make that of like, oh yeah, this guy could win here today at almost any track we get to. I don't think Austin Cindric is near that list. I'm not worried about Austin Cindric on a day-to-day NASCAR race basis and whatnot. So, and that's not the Penske way. And if Dad's not there to protect your job, protect your seat, they might be looking for another guy to fill this seat. But now you got to win, put this car in the playoffs. And we know how Penske does come playoff time. I think Austin Cindric is safe for another little bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 2 years in a row with a victory. That's pretty huge right there.
Lost you again.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. 2 years in a row with a victory for this guy. I think he's just getting better and better. He's looking more consistent on some of these tougher tracks that we go to, because before, I mean, you look back at him in the Xfinity series, he was a road course guy. He would only win on road courses, and that was pretty much it. And then when he came up to Cup, I mean, he immediately won the Daytona 500. And he was just kind of like it was that guy who was like, yeah, you can look out for him in the super speedway races, but now every week he's looking like he could be a contender at some of these other tracks.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's going to show up. You know, he's in good equipment, and it just sometimes it takes these guys to figure out the Cup Series a little bit. And then the next gen car, with everything being so equal, it's harder, I think, now more than ever, to figure this stuff out. So if Austin can do it, it's just going to take some time, and it's starting to pay off here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so congrats to Austin Cindric on winning Talladega. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be making our picks for Texas this weekend, so stay tuned. Guys, welcome back. We're going to be making our picks for Texas Motor Speedway this weekend. All three series will be running, so we're starting off with the Truck Series, the Speedy Cash 250, 250-mile race, 167 laps. Our previous winner here in the Truck Series is Kyle Busch, won here last season. Most manufacturer wins here. Toyota, they got a whopping 22 wins at Texas Motor Speedway. Some notables here. Brandon Jones will be in that 1 for Tricon. Nick Sanchez in the 07 for Spire. And Carson Hocevar will be in the 7 for Spire Motorsports. So, Tom, you are picking first for us for the Truck Series. Who you got, buddy?
For sure. So, I mean, we're going back to Texas, regular, normal track. Gotta go with Corey Heim. I mean, it's fast, and he's due. He's had some bad luck recently. I hope that's not going to continue here, but you expect Corey Heim to be fast, and you expect the Toyotas to be fast at Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 22 wins. Can't go against that. But I am going to go against that. I'm going with the guy, Cup Series driver who's coming in here, Carson Hocevar. He has a win here in the Truck Series back when he was with Nice Motorsports, and now he's with an even faster team here with Spire. They have been stout in their Truck Series program, and I see no reason why he won't be in victory lane this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, he's won here before. He's got experience, and he's going to be in a fast truck with those Spire trucks. So
yeah, definitely. Nick, he is going to go with his driver, Daniel Hemrick. I mean, Hemrick has looked stout all year.
For sure. And now that Hemrick and Ankrum both have wins, McAnally Hilgeman Racing can just kind of go for it and send it. And so I think the 18 and the 19 are only going to get stronger this year. So another solid pick. We may have given up yet another weekend truck win to Nick.
Yeah.
Who's off the chart. He's got to cool down eventually, right?
Yeah. Nick has been putting some heat on us.
The points as they stand. This isn't right, is it? It says 455 points for Nick, 295 for you, and 275 for me. So the battle is to not be last right now.
Yeah.
Between you and me. I may have to go check that. That feels like it's wrong, but it's not.
He's just that good with making NASCAR picks. I mean, that guy, Nick runs away with our NASCAR fantasy group every single season.
Yeah, but even when we make good picks, for whatever reason, it screws up. So
yeah,
I'm not buying it. Again, all guy was supposed to be good at Rockingham, and he wrecked out. Like, how was I supposed to know that?
It's just the luck of the draw, man. All right, so let's move over to the Xfinity Series, the Andes Frozen Custard 300-mile race, 200 laps. Last year's winner was Sam Mayer in that photo finish that he had with Ryan Sieg there. That was a crazy finish. That was probably the best finish we've ever had at Texas Motor Speedway.
Oh, definitely in recent memory, for sure.
Most manufacturer wins. Toyota again, 17 wins. The only notable that we have coming into this race, Riley Herbst. He will be in that 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing. So let's make our picks for the Xfinity Series race. I'm going first, and I gotta go with that Cup Series driver of Riley Herbst. Um, he's back in the Xfinity car. He looked pretty stout in his final few years in the Xfinity Series. So he's going to be running with Joe Gibbs Racing. I think he is going to have one hell of a hot rod this weekend.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how he'll translate to Joe Gibbs because I mean he won a couple times there towards the end of his Haas career, so to speak, in Xfinity. Um, but curious to see how if he'll be a bit rusty from the Xfinity series, or if he'll jump right back in and be in great equipment to go get it done again.
Yeah, I guess we will see. Nick will be going with Kyle Larson, who is actually, that's another notable coming into this race. Kyle Larson is taking
Hmm.
over for Connor Zilisch, so that is
For
who,
unfortunate
yeah.
circumstances, of course.
So Nick will have Larson in the 88 on Saturday. So Tom,
And we do get what we asked for. We're like, well, Larson said all that, made all that talk and smack about wanting to embarrass the Xfinity field every time he enters the race, but he had no more scheduled. Well, guess what? We may see some karmic justice here, or he may stomp him again. Who knows? Can't believe he left him on the table. I didn't expect him to make it that far, and I was gonna pick Allgaier, but I had to pick last for this one. And you reminded me of that great finish last year, and I think our man is going to look for revenge and go get his first win. I don't know why I'm so high on Ryan Sieg this
yeah,
year, but why not? I want to see. I think I'm high on Ryan Sieg because I want to see it happen. I mean, he's been a staple, so to speak, in the Xfinity series for so long, and he's just getting incrementally better, a little bit faster, a little bit faster, and it's fun to watch a small team win. So he's been running up front all damn year. He's sitting right in the top 10.
yeah.
Why not? Why can't he go get a win, go get a top 3?
And this is what you've been your third pick for Ryan Sieg
I
this
I
year.
think I've been, yeah, I can look it up here, but um let's see. He's on this list twice. So yeah, it'll be my third Ryan Sieg pick. I want it to happen.
Yeah,
And when I picked him, he finished 7th in Las Vegas and he finished 7th at Bristol. I mean,
who? Let's yeah,
yes, I lost those weeks, but it still counts for something,
yeah.
right?
Still a great
When
pick, man.
yeah, when you guys pick 1 and 2 in those weeks, then I can't really help myself. So why not?
Yeah.
Ryan Sieg. You guys pick Cup guys. I'll keep picking with my man Ryan Sieg.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's go over to the Cup Series race, the Worth 400 mile race, 267 laps. Last year's winner was Chase Elliott. The last race with Hooters in NASCAR. Hate to see him go. They made some awesome paint schemes. Most manufacturer wins here. Chevrolet with 11 wins. And Jesse Love is going to be in the 62 for Beard Motorsports this weekend. Great opportunity for him. We've known that 62 has been running pretty decent lately. Hopefully he can make it work here at Texas, the mile and a half.
Yeah, Jesse finished 5, 7 laps down at Bristol. He ran all the laps. That's probably just going to be his goal again to run all the laps, try to stay out of the way with this one. And that was in an RCR car. So I don't know if the Beard Motorsports is going to be better than the third RCR car. They're probably about the same.
Yeah.
But good that it shows that somebody sees promise in him and they want to get him to the next level. So I mean, Kyle Busch just turned 40. Ugh.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's make our cup picks. I am going first since I was the loser this past weekend. I am going to go with Mr. Kyle Larson. I mean, Hendrick Motorsports, they're always pretty damn good here. Um, Chase Elliott won last year. Kyle Larson can do it this year.
Yeah. I don't see why not. But I picked second. And if I recall, last year, was it last year or 2 years ago? Kyle Larson was driving right under my pick and got loose and wrecked out. And I think Bubba Wallace has been showing so much promise this season. I said it in the first half of the show. He's running up front. He's getting more experience. He's getting more confident. And Texas has an opportunity to spit out an odd winner every once in a while. If Austin Dillon can go win Texas on speed, if Chase Elliott can win his only race in the last year and a half, I think Bubba Wallace is a perfect candidate to come in here and quote unquote steal one from Texas.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that is a fantastic pick right there, man. All right, and Nick is going to be going for William Byron. Yeah, Hendrick Motorsports is just pretty dang good here.
we're like, why does Nick keep winning? And then we give him the points leader every time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, William Byron, he's going to be fast at Texas. He's fast anywhere, and the Hendrick cars are anywhere.
Yeah.
And the 24 and the 5 are the best Hendrick cars right now. So, it'll be a fun weekend in Texas. Sad I won't go there. It's actually one of the tracks I most visit, which is odd.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were down in there in Oklahoma for a while.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Still a fun weekend. That first time I went down to Texas and saw the Cubs open their season and then did the race the next day. It was cold as hell. Hopefully it's a bit nicer weather for our fans this week. And the only time you'll see me wearing burnt orange and the words Texas on my chest is going to be Texas Motor Speedway week. Other than that, horns down, baby.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, that will wrap it up for us here at the Stock Car Spectacle. If you haven't yet, make sure to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and let us know what you think was wrong with Talladega in the Cup Series this past weekend. There was a lot to unpack about it, so let us know in the comments.
You're giving them homework. You're going to want them to write an essay here.
Yes. I want a 500-word essay, and I want it by Sunday.
Awesome.
Alrighty,
That's how long it'll take to get everything wrong from Talladega.
Yeah, right? Alright, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Tom Hovland.
And we'll see you guys next time. Enjoy Texas. All right.